My girlfriend told me, "I love you, but I need to live on my own so I can miss you more." I said, "All right." I found her a studio apartment, helped her move in, and then stopped covering her expenses. A week later, she called in tears, realizing that missing me didn't pay the rent. I'm 31, male, and this whole situation hit me out of nowhere about 3 weeks ago. My girlfriend, who's 28, and I had been together almost 2 years. She'd been staying in my condo for over a year. No rent, no name on the lease, just enjoying the space while working part-time as a barista and trying to figure out her path. I covered everything: rent, utilities, groceries, internet, every subscription we used. She'd toss in maybe $200 here and there and act like we were splitting things evenly. I didn't complain because I genuinely thought we were building a future together. Then came the talk. We were eating dinner I cooked with groceries I paid for when she suddenly got this serious tone. That tone you only hear when something bad is coming. She said, "Babe, I need to tell you something important." Instantly, my stomach tightened. Nothing good follows that. Then she hit me with, "I love you so much, you're incredible, and I don't want you to think this is because of you." And right there was the first red flag. Anytime someone says, "It's not about you," it's definitely about you. She went on about doing deep self-reflection, reading some book on independence, and discovering something life-changing. She paused dramatically like she was about to unveil ancient wisdom and said, "I think we need to live apart for a little while." I just stared at her. "So, you want to break up?" "No, absolutely not. I love you. I just need to live alone so I can miss you, so I can feel that excitement again. We see each other all the time, and I think we're losing the spark." I put my fork down. "So you want to move out, but still keep the relationship?" "Exactly. It'll make what we have stronger. You know, distance makes the heart grow fonder. We'll still go on dates and have sleepovers sometimes, but I need my own space to grow." The way she talked felt rehearsed, like she'd practiced the whole speech in a mirror. I asked where she planned to live. She said she'd already been looking at studio apartments and found this adorable place 20 minutes away. According to her, it was super affordable. I asked how affordable. She said it cost $1,100 a month plus utilities. And she swore she could manage it. Meanwhile, she brought home roughly $1,400 a month, working 25 hours a week. I started doing the math: rent, utilities, food, her phone, car insurance, gas. The numbers didn't add up. "You can cover $1,100 a month on your paycheck?" I asked. She said she'd pick up more hours and maybe look for a better job, claiming this move would motivate her. That's when it clicked for me. She wanted her own apartment, but expected me to keep funding everything else: her phone, her car insurance, groceries, our dates. She wanted independence without actually being independent. I asked when she planned to move. She said by the end of the month, and she'd already spoken to the landlord who was holding the unit for her. She just needed the first month's rent and the security deposit. I asked how much that came to. She said the deposit was $100, so she needed a total of $2,200 to move in. Then she looked at me with this hopeful expression, like waiting for me to offer my wallet. I took a breath and made up my mind. "You know what? You're right." Her whole face lit up. "Really?" "Yeah. If you need space to appreciate what we have, I'm all for it. Let's get you settled in this weekend." She lit up instantly. She threw her arms around me, overflowing with relief, thanking me like I just saved her life. She had no idea that I was simply giving her the exact independence she said she needed. And I meant every word. She wanted space. She was about to get all of it. Update 1. That weekend taught me a lot. I helped her move into that tiny studio, barely 400 square feet, hardly larger than my living room. But she kept calling it charming and cozy and perfect for her new personal growth era. I paid the $2,200 for her first month and deposit. She swore she'd pay me back when she picked up more hours. Meanwhile, I moved each box while mentally tallying up every expense I'd covered for the last 14 months and planning exactly what needed to be undone. Sunday night, after she was fully settled in, I went back to my quiet condo, which suddenly felt like a spa. Monday morning, the real work began. First stop, the phone provider. Her line had been on my plan for $30 a month. I called and asked them to remove an extra line. They asked if I wanted to transfer the number to her own account. No, just cancel it completely. Done in 30 seconds. Next, car insurance. She'd been listed on my policy since she totaled her old car and couldn't afford her own coverage. I called my agent. Remove one driver. Effective today. That one hit differently, because I knew her insurance alone was going to cost her around $180 a month with her accident record. Then came the streaming services. Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney+, Spotify. She used them more than I did. I logged into everything, deleted her profiles, changed the passwords, and logged out. Next, the food delivery apps. She always said my card was on her phone for emergencies, which somehow turned into 3 DoorDash orders a week. I removed my card from every app. Then the gym. She was on my couple's plan for $40 a month. I went there at lunch and told them she'd need her own membership from now on. They said she'd have to come in and open a solo plan, $75 a month. By 5 o'clock Monday, I had severed every financial connection between us except one, the digital receipt showing I paid her entire move-in cost. Tuesday afternoon, she texted, "Hey babe, my phone isn't working. Says the line is disconnected." I replied, "Yeah, meant to tell you. Since you're living on your own now, I figured you'd want your own phone plan. You can set one up at any carrier store." She wrote back, "What? Phones aren't cheap. It says plans are around $50 or $60 a month." Bubbles kept popping up and disappearing, then finally, "I don't have the money for that." "Aaron, you said you were taking extra shifts." "Yeah, but not until next week. Then cover it next week." After that, nothing but disappearing typing bubbles. By Wednesday morning, she tried a softer angle. "Can you put me back on the phone plan just until I get more hours, please?" "No. You wanted your own space and your own life. Handling your bills is part of that. I'm just supporting the personal growth you said you needed." On Thursday, the next wave hit. "Why did you cancel my gym access?" "I didn't cancel anything. I just removed you from my couple's plan. You can get your own membership." $75? "Yeah. Adulthood comes with price tags." "I can't afford that, Aaron. Then work out at home. YouTube has millions of free workouts. This isn't funny. I'm not trying to be funny. You asked for independence. This is what it looks like." By Friday, exactly 1 week after the move, my doorbell rang. I checked the camera. She looked frustrated and stressed. I opened the door. "What's going on? Can I come in?" "I'm in the middle of something." "What do you need?" She froze. I'd never told her she couldn't just walk in. I need to talk to you." "Then talk. I've got a work call in 15 minutes, which was completely made up, but I wasn't inviting her inside." "Fine." "I need money." "For what?" "Rent's due tomorrow and I don't have enough." "Didn't you say you could totally handle the $1,100 on your own? I thought you'd still help me. Help you pay rent on the apartment you wanted so you could miss me more?" "Yes. Why would I do that?" "Because you love me. Because we're still together. We are together, but you're living independently. Independent living means independent bills. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? She shut down because she couldn't say the real truth, that she wanted to look independent while I kept paying for everything. I meant space emotionally, not financially. Then you should have said that before moving out. You're being awful. I can't believe you're doing this to me. Doing what? Following the plan you insisted on? You know I can't afford this. Then maybe you shouldn't have signed a lease you can't pay for. I signed it because I thought we were a team. Teams communicate. You didn't tell me you expected me to fund your new place. You literally said you could afford it. She started crying, saying she was going to get evicted. Most places have a grace period, 5 days or so. You've got time to figure it out. How am I supposed to find $1,100 in 5 days? Pick up those extra shifts you talked about. Call your parents. Apply for a credit card. I don't know, but those are solutions for someone who wants independence. My parents will lose their minds. Then maybe don't tell them you signed a lease you couldn't pay for. I hate you right now. That's fine. Maybe the distance from your own apartment will help you miss me even more. She stormed off and I went back inside oddly calm. Then my phone exploded with messages for the next 3 hours. The messages started coming in waves, a mix of emotional jolts. Please, I need help. Why are you doing this? Are you punishing me for wanting space? This is abusive. I can't believe this is happening. Fine, be like that. I'm sorry. Can we please talk? Answer me. I replied once. You wanted independence, so I'm giving you exactly that. Good luck. Then I silenced her notifications and ordered a pizza. Week 2 was when the entitlement really ramped up. Saturday morning, she showed up at my door with her mother, both of them staring at me like I'd personally ruined their lives. We need to talk, her mom said. About what? About how you're treating my daughter. How am I treating her? You kicked her out and cut her off financially. No, she asked for space and asked to move out. I helped her move. Those are her words, not mine. My girlfriend jumped in, saying she wanted space to miss me, not to be abandoned. You're not abandoned. You have your own place, exactly what you said you needed. Her mom insisted she couldn't afford it and would end up homeless. She signed the lease knowing full well what the rent was. That's her responsibility. You let her believe you'd help. I never said that. She assumed it. My girlfriend started crying again, saying me paying the move-in costs meant I was supporting the whole thing. I supported the move, not the bills. Past tense. The move is done. Support ended there. Her mom got in my face trying to intimidate me and said I was going to give her daughter the rent money or there would be problems. Is that a threat? It's a promise. Great. Threaten me again and I'll call the police. Both of you need to leave my property. Property? She lived here over a year. As a guest. Not on the lease. Never paid rent. Guest privileges ended when she moved out. My girlfriend looked shocked I said that in front of her mom, but her mom came to my house making demands. This is what she gets. Her mom tried again, saying her daughter needed $1,100 by tomorrow and I should give it to her. Then you give it to her. I can't afford that. Neither can I. Not true, but she didn't need to know that. You make more money than she does, and that has nothing to do with a lease your daughter signed. My girlfriend begged, saying she'd pay me back. With what income? With more shifts she still hadn't taken. Get the shifts, make the money, pay the rent. That's independence. Her mom called me heartless, reminding me her daughter loved me and gave me 2 years of her life. She also lived rent-free in my home for over a year. We're more than even. Her mom didn't like that answer, but it was true. They left after more crying and accusations, and I locked the door and made coffee. Later, our mutual friend started messaging me because she'd posted vague, dramatic stuff online about being abandoned. A friend called and I explained everything. He admitted she'd conveniently skipped the part where she asked to move out. She wanted independence, I told him, and got angry when she actually had to be independent. He didn't have much to say after that. Monday, I got a call from the property management company about her apartment. They said rent was 5 days late and they couldn't reach her, so they were calling me because my name was on the move-in payment. I reminded them I made a one-time payment and wasn't responsible for anything else. They asked me to pass along a message if I talked to her. I said sure and hung up, knowing she was ignoring their calls. Wednesday night, 9 days after the move, she showed up at midnight pounding on my door. I used the intercom. "It's midnight. Go home." "I can't. They're evicting me." "Okay, that's all you have to say? What do you want? Help me. How? Give me the rent money." "No, please, I'll do anything. Anything except get a real job or live within your budget? You're being cruel. I'm being honest. I love you." "No, you love the lifestyle I paid for." Silence. "That's not true." "Then prove it. Handle your own bills like you said you would." "I can't." "Then you shouldn't have moved out." After more crying and begging, I shut off the intercom and went back to bed. The next morning, she texted from a friend's phone saying she had to leave the apartment because they changed the locks and asked if I was happy now. I asked if she told her friend she moved out to miss me more or if she left that part out. No reply. Friday, her mom called, furious that her daughter was crying on her couch and had lost the apartment. She said it was my fault because I was supposed to take care of her. "She's an adult," I said. "Adults take care of themselves. She relied on you. She shouldn't have." "You led her on." "No, I helped her move because she asked. That's it. You owe her. For what? For wasting 2 years of her life." I laughed. "She lived rent-free for 14 months. Sounds like she got a pretty good deal." Her mom called me disgusting, but she wasn't listening. Her daughter tried to live independently on someone else's wallet. That's not how life works. That evening, my girlfriend showed up again, exhausted and defeated, asking if we could really talk this time. I opened the door for her, but I didn't let her come inside. I already knew I messed up. I was chasing my own space and didn't stop to think about the financial reality behind it. I assumed we'd figure everything out together, but I never actually said that out loud. That was on me. When she asked if we could start fresh, her idea of starting over was to move back in like nothing had happened. I told her no. Not because I wanted to punish her, but because she had shown me exactly who she was. She made big decisions without considering the fallout and then expected me to clean it up afterward. She kept insisting it was a mistake, but it wasn't a slip. It was a choice. She wanted freedom and still wanted the support that comes with not being independent. You don't get both. That version of us was done. I told her if she ever wanted to try again, she needed to actually build a life she could handle on her own. A stable job, a place she could pay for, proof she didn't need someone to carry her. She said that could take months. I told her then, it takes months. She wanted me to keep paying her bills in the meantime, but that wasn't helping. That was enabling her to stay exactly the same. She didn't like hearing it, but she knew it was true. She walked out quietly. No yelling, no drama. Just left. And I haven't heard her voice since. 6 weeks later, here's where everything landed. I found out through mutual friends that she moved back in with her parents 2 hours away. She quit her barista job because the commute was impossible. Her mom was furious at both of us. At me for abandoning her daughter and at her for moving out with zero plan. At least someone in that house understood consequences. A couple weeks later, she texted from a friend's phone saying she finally understood and that she wasn't ready for independence. I didn't respond. Another week, another number, asking if we could talk because she missed me. Still didn't respond. Then came an email. Long, apologetic, saying she was immature, didn't understand finances, assumed I'd keep handling everything like I always had. She said she was trying to work on herself, seeing a therapist, trying to get a better job. She ended it saying she didn't deserve another chance but hoped I'd consider it someday. I replied that I appreciated the apology and hoped her self-work was real, but I wasn't interested in starting over. She instantly wrote back asking how I could end things just like that after everything we had. But the truth is, we didn't have something real. We had a setup where I paid for everything, and she lived comfortably off the effort I put in. That's not partnership, that's dependence. She said that wasn't fair. I told her it was accurate. She asked if we were just done. I told her I was done the moment she moved out, expecting me to keep financing her life. This was just the official goodbye. She tried to guilt trip me. I told her I was actually doing fine. Then I blocked her email and every number she used. As for my life now, my place is quiet. My savings are growing. Turns out, supporting a whole other adult drains way more money than you realize. I'm not seeing anyone new yet. Not looking, honestly. This whole experience taught me how important it is to pay attention to patterns. Her entitlement didn't pop up overnight. It had been there the whole 2 years. She never once offered to split costs. She treated my income like community property. Every time I encouraged her to get a full-time job, she'd say she was still figuring things out. She'd buy expensive stuff on my card without asking and then act shocked when I wasn't thrilled. She cried whenever I set a boundary until I gave up. She bragged to people about how generous I was, like that was my primary role in her life. I ignored all of this because she was fun, attractive, and made me feel needed. But there's a thin line between being needed and being used, and you don't see it clearly until you step back. The final act of entitlement came when her mom called me from a random number demanding I reimburse her daughter for the apartment deposit she lost. I told her no. She threatened to sue. I told her to ask any lawyer. They'd tell her she had no case. She called me a terrible person. I told her I simply had boundaries, and her daughter just didn't like that. Haven't heard from them since. Some friends say I should have eased her into adulthood instead of cutting her off all at once, but she's 28. She signed a lease by herself. She didn't talk about finances beforehand. She assumed I'd keep funding her independence. I didn't cause her issues. I just stopped shielding her from them. Qley.